To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to love, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven.
Thank you, Christine S., for blessing us with your beautiful voice and energy this morning. Christine has been here many times, I'm sure you all remember. And I asked her what she wanted me to share, and she said, tell them I'm a spiritual practitioner with the Center for Spiritual Living. And I said, is there more? And she said, well, I'm a mother of 4. I said, oh, I'm getting that. I'm putting that down. And they are young adults. The youngest is 16. So she's dealing with lots of empty nesting and transition, which she said sometimes is harder than the earlier years. And I think a lot of us know that that's true. So, welcome. Am I echoing a little bit? What? Well, okay. So Welcome to the Light and Love, that is Unity of South Sound. My name is Ruth Rogers, and it truly is my joy to welcome you here today. And if you have any questions or concerns or joys to share, please contact our office during business hours or visit our website at www.unityofsouthsound.org. And at this time, we also invite you to put your cell phones into the silence. Now we invite you to relax, reconnect, and center in the truth of who we are. Will you please join me in saying our opening affirmation? There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotence. And our mission statement, inspired by the divine, as an inclusive spiritual community, we explore and express our highest potential. And our vision statement, present and centered in divine love, we co-create a peaceful and awakened world. And now Reverend Megan will lead us in an opening prayer and light the unity candle.
Good morning. Wonderful to see you all and welcome our virtual community. We feel your presence even though we can't see you. So I just want to say today we begin our real journey into the new year. And I invite you to join us in that and your spiritual education and unfoldment and your presence in being a part of what we're co-creating together. Because your presence makes a difference in how we can be a spiritual community. So as I light the light and invite you into prayer, again, it's a reminder of the light that you are and that collectively we are one. And as we join in the vibration of that oneness, of that consciousness, of the divine identity that is inherently within all beings, we come together to shine our light, to bring something new into our experience and those around us, and that is a powerful thing. So be conscious of how you're participating in that. Taking a moment to just breathe. To remember that your breath is a reminder that you are divine by nature. And as we breathe in the fullness of who we are, we align with that divine essence. So feel it with your breath. And feel the power when you affirm the truth that we already said, I am one, with the presence and power of the omnipotence, the good, the very being of who I am. Knowing there is only one presence and one power active in my life, in this universe, and in Unity of South Sound. One presence, one power, and it is a part of me. So I set into motion how I will co-create and express with that power in and through and as me. What will that be for you? And how will you be that within Unity of South Sound? That is what we discern moving forward into this new year. And with a realization of the gift that we receive by coming together today, we say, I am grateful, I am grateful, I am grateful. And so it is. Amen.
And join with our song leader, Joey Sandal Hill, in singing our congregational songs.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. See you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
So now is the time in our service where we get to greet each other with a namaste greeting. If you feel comfortable, you can give an elbow bump. Otherwise, we just invite you to place your hands together and say, Namaste. I behold the divinity you are. Namaste.
All right, this is one of my personal favorite songs. It always has kind of a feel. Let's share the love today for ourselves, for each other, for everyone around us. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I know. Never feels like enough. There's never enough love to go around.
Okay, so am I on? Best answer ever. It's on? Oh, thank you. And you were right, I am on. So I try to stay on. I just hate to swear in church. I'm possessed.
There it goes.
Oh, there. Now? Yay. Okay, so with no further ado, the inspirational reading today I took from our program, and we're going to be talking about this later in the announcements. This is in the e-blast, and it's a beautiful handout of the calendar of all the different activities that we can be doing in this series, 5-week series that we're into called Our Journey Through the Gifts of Winter. So I found this beautiful poem from Palmer Parker. Say that fast 3 times. Anyway, he's a brilliant, wonderful man full of spirit and talent. So he says, I've been thinking about how easy it is to look but not see, missing a lot in the process. For example, we look at another person and find only the reflection of our own biases, needs, and fears, rather than truly seeing the being we're with. It's also easy to look at the world around us and find only banality, corruption, and violence, rather than also seeing the good that's there, the, quote, hidden wholeness, as Thomas Merton called it, that lies beneath the broken surface. So here's a poem he wrote after a walk in the winter woods where the reflections in a very quiet, partially frozen stream allowed him to see much more than he could when he was merely looking around. For him, this poem is a reminder to still his mind and to practice soft eyes so he can see the beauty and the potential for beauty that's in human nature as well as the natural world. He's heading out today for another walk in the winter woods. Given the world we live in right now, it's time for a refresher course in seeing, truly seeing. So this is the poem. The winter woods beside a solemn river are twice seen, once as they pierce the brittle air, once as they dance in grace beneath the stream. In air, these trees stand rough and raw, branch angular in stark design. In water, shimmer constantly, disconnect as in a dream, shadowy but more alive than what stands stiff and cold before our eyes. Our eyes at peace are solemn streams, and twice the world itself is seen. Once as it is outside our heads, hard, frozen now, and winter dead, once as it undulates and shines beneath the silent waters of our minds. When rivers churn or cloud with ice, the world is not seen twice, yet still is there breath beneath the blinded surface of the stream, livelier and lovelier than we can comprehend, and waiting, always waiting to be seen. Okay, so now Reverend Michael is going to lead us in meditation. Too many papers.
So in preparation for meditation, I'm going to sing into it as we then align with the vibration of our prayer bowl.
What's this first line? I can't think of it.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am and all I do is a presence in the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. We're a blessing to the world.
So find a place where you can find that comfort of the ever-present dwelling of what we call the Christ, the Buddha nature, the Atman. The place in you where you feel the connection to the divine. And as you open your heart, your eyes, your ears, from the inside, listen now to this singing bowl as it allows the vibrational pattern to create imagery, to create silent reflection, and then to let go of that imagery, to let go of that reflection, to find what peace there is in the center of your being. Breathe. Follow that breath. Allow. Let go. Remember. Renew. You are the heart. You are the hands. You are the voice of spirit on earth. Accept this gift and sing to yourself, I am the heart. I am the hands. I am the voice of spirit on earth. And allow your next breath to be a little deeper. Feeling the peace that you have found in the silence and the stillness. Bringing back with you that engagement of the concept we call God. Right here, right now, in this moment. We are one with that oneness. And so it is. Amen?
Every evening sky, an invitation to trace the pattern stars. And early in July, a celebration for freedom that is ours. Still I know drop of sun is full of fun and wonder. You are summer. And even when the trees have just surrendered to the harvest time, forfeiting their leaves in late September, sending us inside, still I notice you and change begins, and I am braced for colder winds. I will offer thanks for what has been and what's to come. You are and everything in time and under heaven finally falls asleep, wrapped in blankets white. All creation shivers underneath, and still I notice you when branches crack, and in my breath on frosted glass. Even now in death you open the doors for life to enter. You are winter, and everything that's new has bravely surfaced, teaching us to breathe. And what was frozen through is newly purposed, turning all things green. So it is with you, and how you make me new with every season's change. And so it will be as you are recreating me. Summer, autumn, winter,
Good morning. I'm a little disappointed that Reverend Megan isn't up here this morning. I was so looking forward to her talk. You just have to come back next week, listen to that. And in the meantime, I think if I went back here and you couldn't see me, would that mean that I'm not here? Or would it just mean that my voice is here, but the rest of me is checked out? But they told me I had to speak from over here, so I'm going to do that. I have a question for you. How many of you love summer here in Tacoma? Oh, man. When the Lady Rainier is out, it's amazing, right? Reverend Megan and I have a friend that is originally from Wisconsin, or isn't it Madison, Wisconsin? And And they talk about their weather and how cold it is and bitter and biting. And they say, though, that when summer comes, it's amazing. Their summers are exquisite, especially if it falls on a weekend. And I thought to myself, what is that all about? What is this whole concept of seasons, and how does that relate to us as humankind? And so I thought to myself, I really do love summer. My birthday is kind of like summer, so I kind of like that right away. How many of you love fall? Fall's a great time of the year. The trees change and it's beautiful, and you can just start to feel the little coolness in the air. And what about spring? Any spring lovers here? Yeah. And then how about winter? We're going to talk to the four of you later. Winter sometimes gets a bad rap. I just want to read to you some things that I found. What do you think about winter when they speak of it in these terms? In the bleak of winter. Now is the winter of our discontent. Death comes in the winter of our lives. And from the Game of Thrones, right? Winter is coming. Anytime there was something ominous that was about to happen, right? They would bring out that line, they'd tote it out there and say, winter is coming. And already everything gets pretty ominous. So it seems like winter gets the blame for a lot of stuff. How would you describe winter? Just think that to yourself. Please don't blurt it out. Scrooge, before his enlightenment, was the very embodiment of winter. Here's what they said about Scrooge. No wind that blew was bitterer than he. No falling snow was more intent upon its purpose. No pelting rain less open to entreaty. Winter is dismal, dreary, bleak, gloomy, cheerless, desolate. Gloominess embodied. Just dreary, discouraging, dull or futile, cold, freezing, chilly, dreary, wet, icy, frosty, dreary, bitter, cloudy, snowy, dreary, frozen, melting, drafty, dreary, misty, foggy, slippery, slushy. Did I mention dreary? During winter, nature is at her resting place. Quiet, withdrawn, deep in the earth, and the roots are preparing for spring. Like nature, this is a time for us to get plenty of rest, good food, relaxation, and sleep deeply. It's the time for this purpose under heaven. So let's take a look at some of the gifts of the winter season. There's a tendency to want to hurry from autumn to spring and to avoid the whole winter thing. Many people don't like the constant days bereft in less light and months filled with colorless and colder temperatures. They struggle with the bleakness of the land and the emptiness of the trees. Their eyes and hearts seek color. Their spirits tire of tasting in endless gray skies. There's a great rejoicing, though, in the thought that light and warmth will soon be filling more and more each new day. It was on the 25th of December I realized that we were past the winter solstice, and guess what starts to happen now? The days get longer, the light gets longer, and I've already started to feel the anticipation. But wait, maybe I'm rushing into things here. Maybe I'm not really finding the depth of the gift that winter has to bring for me. So what else is there about winter that's maybe a little more inviting? So for any of you who are active out there, then we can do a little bit of snow skiing, some snowshoeing, some bobsledding if you have one in the garage, a little bit of tobogganing, maybe make snow angels, or how about a snow fort or a snowman? Ice fishing, ice skating. Have you ever seen the snowmen in Tacoma? A lot of rain here. Winter Olympics, chopping wood, building fires, hot apple cider, chocolate, hot chocolate. Vegetable stew, root vegetables, hearty soup and chili. All of these things are fun. How about cuddling in the winter next to a fire with your cat or your dog or one of your children or grandchildren or maybe your significant other? We don't want to lose that precious gift that lies there in the depth of the silence, in the darkness, in the quiet, in the peaceful, restful place. We often connect with winter. So let us invite our hearts to be glad for the courage that winter asks of us, to be patient, to be waiting, to be ready, and to prepare. So we encourage our spirits to be in that settling place. The winter solstice celebrates the return of hope to our land, to our planet. And we know that as we prepare ourselves for what's about to take place, we want to be completely open and aware. We don't want to sleep through this. We want to rest through this. And when it's time to sleep, we want to sleep deeply. But for the rest of the time, we want to have our inner eyes open for what is happening during the winter that nourishes our souls. We're going to be introducing a series called The Gifts of Winter. And if you're willing, if you have the courage to be willing to take part in the gifts of winter, you will find a treasure trove waiting for you to help you understand not only yourself and winter, but how your relationship with others, your relationship with this concept you call God. My wife has been often quoted as saying, your relationship with yourself is your relationship with God. Now, I heard that back in 2005 when we were in seminary together, and I use it a lot. Whenever I look at myself and I'm feeling a little down or a little less than, or maybe I have a little issue with what's going on in life, I think about myself. What is it, without being too egotistical, what is it about me? What am I bringing to the game? What am I doing to allow myself to accept this as it is and find the gift in it? Or you might say, where is the God in this? So we don't have to be on all the time. We don't have to be blooming and getting this whole concept of the major philosopher, Larry the Cable Guy. You know him? Get her done. We don't have to get her done all the time. What we want to understand is that there is a time for that, and there is also a time for reflection. There's a time for going within. There is a time for every purpose under heaven. So, what do we want to focus on? Another lesson that we might learn? Another thing that we might acquire? Or how about an observational place that we can watch without judgment, that we can allow to come in and let go, just like our breath? We cannot breathe in only one side of that equation. You can't just exhale. It doesn't work. We have to inhale as well. And when we inhale, we want to feel the entirety of it. And that's why when we meditate, we follow the breath. We allow it to come into our being, recognize it for what it is, and then we let it go. Why is it important to let go? Because we can't just keep getting, and we can't just keep giving. We have to find that neutral place where we can give and receive with the same intensity. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, which I know you've all read. Matter of fact, just bring out your Bible right now and we'll talk about it. Oh, you didn't bring? Okay. It says that there is a time to be born and a time to die. And we all pretty much accept that. We see that around all the time. A time to plant and a time to reap. Then there's this one that says a time to kill and a time to heal. Is there really a time to kill? And boy, I would get all over this in my early days. I would want to know what the heck are they talking about there, and that's got to be wrong. And so we need to fix this. But what about killing off the ideas that prevent me from growing into my most beneficial self? My highest good, as we say. What about those thoughts that keep me back? Or the anger that keeps me from becoming peaceful? Or the worry that keeps me from being at a place of receiving? You can't worry about something and be in tune. So, a time to break down and a time to build up. And this all happens to us on so many levels. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. We have just walked slowly and are still slowly walking out of a 2.5-year winter. This whole concept of our pandemic has held us back from being the hugging, rejoiceful, kissing group that we find in New Thought thinking. And it's taken a toll. Look around you. And now we're figuring out in the winter of our existence, how do we go on beyond that? How do we become the expression in a new way? Because guess what? It's never going to be like that again. We have to accept that the good old days are being made right now. Those good old days in the past where we used to do the things that we used to do may never come to fruition again. Are we willing to accept that? Russell Wilson will never be a Seahawk again. I'm sorry. We're going to share more about this concept. It seems to be like more about dualism, you know, a time to do this and a time to do that, a time to grow and a time to reap. And what are these things that we're expecting to do and still stay in this concept of oneness? This concept of not being divided, no us and them. What can we bring to that place? Well, in the gifts of winter, if you're willing to do the work, you'll find the gifts at the end. If you're not willing to do the work, come anyway. You might find that you'll be willing to do the work later. But this kind of I liken it to recovery, is not about this is for people who need it. No, this is for people who want it. Do you want to grow into your spiritual excellence? Do you have a desire to find out what your spiritual nature looks like out in the world? Do you have a need to feel connected to this concept of God that we carry around, the ceaseless, restless, creative force that unites us all because we are all it. In my design for living, I have a concept called never twos. Anybody else have never twos in their life? Yeah. Not never twos, T-O, but never twos, T-O-O. Never too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Never twos. Never too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. That's what winter speaks to me about. That I should be careful in these times of pause to never get too hungry. So it says here, eat well, especially in winter. Now that might not mean eat a lot. It might mean eat very well, healthy, moderately, but eat well. Angry has always been an issue for us when we get confronted with the guy who cuts us off in the highway. It's always that woman with 14 items in the 10 item or less line. I know, I count them. Who brings anger up to the forefront of our existence, that we look at that. Why does that stuff bother us? Why do people who don't think the way we think politically bother us? Why do we allow them to have that energy on us? Why do we not just relax, do what is ours to do, and find the gift that eventually and always comes? So, what is it that we want to take a look at? In the Hindu tradition, they have a concept, and the concept is about not adding anything to or detracting anything from what is. It's the concept where I don't have to value anything more or anything less. I just have to observe and see it. Accepting that which harmonizes with the vibrational energies of who and what I am, and allowing what doesn't vibrate with who or what I am just to be. Just to find where is the gift laying deep in my subconscious, maybe, for me. So I want to suggest that winter is a season of hope. That winter is a place for us to reevaluate, to take a look at what we formerly believed, always check into our former assumptions. Jiddu Krishnamurti said, question everything. Now that doesn't mean disagree with it. That doesn't mean change it. It just means question it. What is this and why is this here? How does this play forth in my life? What brings this into my life? And to question it all. You know, when I was a child, I was taught not to question anything. That's the way it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. And you darn well better believe it and follow these rules, or you could find yourself in everlasting fire and brimstone and smoke and choking and dying and death and destruction. But God loves you. So during these winter months, let's ask ourselves, what is it that we hope for? If winter is a season of hope, what do we hope for? During this time of rest and going within, will we allow ourselves to flow? Just to flow like the stream, like the river, like the tides, just to flow in and out. Give ourselves permission to, like Bruce Lee said in his movie, be water. In the Chinese culture, water is the symbol for winter. Be water. When I meditate, I often think of a lake. And as I get prepared to go deep, I wait for that lake to become still. I wait for that lake to become a perfect reflection of the sky, without ripple, without disturbance. And that's my bookmark. Then I know that when I reach that level, I can let go into the placid stillness, into the depths of the quiet, into the meaningful relationship that I have with the divine that is me as a core essence. And I invite my ego and my personality to sit in the back row. They get to clap and cheer. My job is to be present, to see what's there. And your job is to find out what gifts winter has for you. So join us as we follow this beautiful path in the beautiful winter scene, the Currier and Ives Christmas card. When that's there, what is it that draws us to the beauty that is winter? Think of a snowy landscape or Lady Rainier covered in snow. What brings you to the connection of winter in your life, in your thinking? And give yourself permission to receive. The gifts are there. That's all I got.
I was so into that Gifts of Winter. I was gone on that lake. You are mesmerizing. I love that description of meditation. I've been a meditator since 73. And I don't think I've ever heard it so beautifully described. We're so lucky. We are so darn lucky here. I mean, who gets to have a married couple come up here and do that gorgeous thing with singing and the bowl and the meditation? Come on. Just saying. Okay, this is my way of showing appreciation. Oh, that was so beautiful. Okay, so, okay. So now it's time to welcome our newcomers and live streamers. We want to thank all of you who may be joining us for your first time here or online, and thank you for sharing your consciousness and your love with us. Also, if you happen to be here in person, we do have a welcome packet at the back table for you. And if it's the second time you've joined us, welcome back. I got to talk to a new person that's been coming since the Christmas Eve service this morning. And she's right back there. Her name is Deborah. Deborah, can you just say hello? So thank you for being brave. Okay. So, so if you've been here for a long time, welcome home. And to all of our friends, we want to share our unity blessing. So to all our newcomers and live streamers and all us old-timers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity you are. At this time, we'd like to prepare for our love offering and invite Christine S., who's already in place, to prepare for her next song. This is a time in our service where we get a chance to share of our financial blessings with this community. There are many ways to do so. You can text the word GIVE to the phone number 833-217-5435. You can visit our website, www.unityofsouthsound.org. In the upper right corner of our homepage is an orange donate button. You can make a one-time or ongoing donation. It's simple and secure to do. You can also call our office. You can mail it to us. Or if you're here in person, there is an offering plate at the back table, and we usually have one up here too before going in for refreshments in Wesley Hall. Whichever way we make our tithes, we hold those love offerings in this moment in our hands or in our hearts and affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I receive. I am in perfect balance and flow with the universal tides of giving and receiving. Thank you, God.
$525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. And 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 journeys to plan. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure the life of a woman or a man? In truth that she learned, or in times that he cried, in visions she burned, or the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember a year in the life of friends. Remember the love. Remember the love. Remember the love. Measuring love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
Thank you so much. I love that song, and that is not an easy song to sing, and you did a beautiful job. And thank you so much to our Unity Band as well. Okay, so the good news is it's time for announcements, and there are not 524,600 of those. Okay. So we have a few announcements, and to highlight for you this morning, we'd like you to know you can keep up to date on all of our Sunday events and services by subscribing to our weekly newsletter, the e-blast. It's really important because it's got all the links to all the classes and all the different things that we're doing, so be sure and do that. Go to our homepage and click on the newsletter sign-up button. Then fill out your contact info and submit. Your info will be safe on this secure site and will never be shared. Now, I'm really excited to tell you about this next item. Last Tuesday, we kicked off our Life of Prayer class over Zoom, and you'll be happy to know it is not too late to sign up. Join us for the next 4 Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. There is a required book which is incredibly wonderful. I got it this week, and I've been hungrily reading through it. How to Pray Without Talking to God. And that pretty much is the whole deal. So be sure and get that book. Whether you're going to take the class or not, come and do this with us. Because I personally, as a longtime member of this church, want to see our congregation, including myself, transformed through this new, kind of different way of praying than what we've done in Unity before. It's, you know how at the end of the service we have what is that called? Oh, here it is. Divine, no, that's not it. Well, anyway, you know how we've changed prayer for protection. So we don't just say the light of God, blah, blah, blah. We say, I am the light of God. To me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Reverend Megan, that's the difference in this new, I'm calling it new, way of praying. We are taking full commitment and ownership of who we are as a being of light with an internal source from our source. So I can't encourage you enough to please sign up, or don't bother signing up. Just come and get the book for sure. It's really, really good. Okay, now let's see. What was I supposed to actually say? Right. Okay. So the Gifts of Winter. If you've missed this, you weren't listening today. We are in a Gifts of Winter series, so beautifully opened up for us by Reverend Michael. And there are these great handouts. You can just look at them online, or you can print them out with something to do every day. And there's a beautiful little calendar. And the thing that I did this morning, the inspirational reading, is actually one of the things to do on Tuesday, to read a poem about winter. So, just saying, that's another wonderful thing we've got going on. But wait, there's more. February 12th, after the service, do you know what it is? Annual meeting! Yay! The board all said it. That's good. Okay, so that is open for all to attend. Join us as we review our accomplishments in 2022, and this is the really juicy part, share our vision for the new year. Also, our youth and family team will be sponsoring a baked potato feed. Nobody wants to miss that day as well. All proceeds will support our kids to attend camps. Last but not least, family bingo. Let's hear it. Woo! Join our youth team on Sunday, February 19th, after the service from 12 to 2 for some free family fun. This event is open to all ages and will feature prizes, snacks, and beverages. So, let's see. Is it time for the kids? Pardon? Oh, the children have a special gift for us, so let's call them in.
Hello. So this is our Wow You. We did have unit teens, but they might still be working upstairs. So they'll probably come down and join us any minute. So in our classrooms, we did talk about the gifts of winter. And in the Wow You, we actually listened to some George Winston winter album. And we also worked on a poem. So we read a couple poems on winter. And Luke would like to read our poem. It's a haiku.
Fancy. This is our winter haiku. Cold, dark rain falls down. Christmas lights glow in the night. Me, 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 bear.
We had several themes to get in there, and one of our themes was hibernation and bear. So it was great. Yeah, do you guys want to read your poem? No. Okay. The Uniteens are like, no, I'm not reading the poem. But we had a great time, so thank you very much. I think that's all I have to say.
Okay. Okay, so parents, if you have young children up here, come up and take their hands. Everyone else, we invite you to stand. We're going to have a brief intermission with...
I just want to remind you that with the gifts of winter, I am offering a Zoom session at 6:30 on Wednesdays if you want to join in for discussion and talk about our daily activities and the meaning and just share that with each other. So if you'd like to join me, all of those links are on the e-blast. And if you don't have them, contact the office and Heidi will make sure you get them. But it's another way for us to connect and share and be present with each other.
I highly recommend it. Okay, it's time to sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace and harmony. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And our prayer of protection, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Sunday, same time, same place. God bless.
Did you see this one?
I love that song.
Wait, okay, duet section is, I think.
There it is.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you,
because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for.
But I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a ship flown from
Like
its
a ship
mooring. Do you know this part?
Yeah, I know it. You start.
So you're going to take this note here. None of it seems to matter anymore.
Like a ship blown from its mooring.